What's going on, everyone? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP. As you guys hopefully know, we've been discussing the market for the past couple of videos in specific on the fact that we were starting to pretty much track a bullish, or what appears to be a bullish uptrend. As you guys can clearly see, just using Bitcoin for reference, we had this uptrend starting to play out. And we knew that after this, you could even consider it an ascending triangle. It's a little less of that and more of some sort of bear trap that we've now figured out in yesterday's video. We got stuck up here with our resistance clearly at the $6,800 resistance level, and we broke bearish from that. But what's interesting is we didn't collapse all the way back down to the mouth of the breakout, basically. So we actually started to correct back up, which was a big signal in reference to the fact that this bear trap could be more significant than we thought. So in today's video, I want to discuss the relevance of this bear trap actually forming and what we could do to basically profit off of these moves and what we're expecting to see in the long run. Obviously, you guys can see markets are up and doing very well. So if you guys have any interest, definitely make sure to watch the video to the end. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, help out that YouTube algorithm. And remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way you guys can stay up to date with everything that's going on within the market, as well as if you wanted to have a conversation with me, I do look forward to all those. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So before we begin, obviously you guys saw yesterday's video, just a few announcements. We were discussing the bear trap formation was happening, anticipating the possibilities of an extension to the upside. If you missed this, definitely make sure to watch yesterday's video. But we were discussing the fact that it looked like we were going to swing to the upside, that this was a small correction to the downside, and now we're going to continue a new uptrend to future prices. This is obviously a great signal. And then for those of you that have me on Patreon or just want a little sneak peek as to what you're missing by not being on my Patreon platform, I just wanted to share a couple posts that we have. Obviously, you guys know today is March 30th. Just 3 days ago, at the pretty much the brink of the breakout, we were tracking whether or not we'd be shooting bullish or bearish, and obviously the update came in that we are in short, and that pretty much is the update that we were very much so going to be shorting this all the way back down to this support level that we have drawn very clearly right here. We have a ton of you guys commenting this, so it is a great platform for all you guys to interconnect with each other and basically being able to get into contact with other people interested in cryptocurrency and trading. So obviously this is the 27th. You can clearly see the call to the downside that we had. And then moving on even further, you can see clearly as we progress, this was 2 a.m. on the 27th. Now looking at this at the 27th at 10 o'clock at night, we let the day continue. The massive winning trade that we had where we broke bearish even more so after the consolidation was a great trade that we made just a couple of days ago. And it's definitely something you guys should be, somewhat interested in if you are obviously one of those beginners, or you were just more so interested in hearing my trades and my positions that I make. Even winning trades, we definitely do a lot of those. Definitely make sure to check out my Patreon down below. It is linked in the description down below. But we have a ton of you guys commenting, leaving feedback, obviously profiting off these trades. So it is definitely a nice, thing to have to see a lot of you guys actually making profitable trades off of my trades. So it's pretty cool. Definitely make sure to check that out. Otherwise, to jump straight into the technical analysis, you guys can clearly see that we have these top 10 cryptos opened up. Ignoring Tether, everything is starting to head back up. Very interesting. This is definitely in similarity with the discussion we had yesterday in reference to the bear trap that was potentially forming on the coins. Now, obviously, I will be updating everybody on my, apparent thoughts in relevance to the markets right now on my Patreon. So that's where I'm going to be storing that information, what my next trades are pretty much going to be. But the markets are starting to swing back up, and that to me is a very good sign. I do want to look at all the cryptos: XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as Litecoin. We'll start with Bitcoin, then we'll look at XRP for those of you interested in those coins. But I do think we need to discuss what exactly is going on, because all the cryptos are starting to trade independently again compared to more codependency that we used to see within Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So what I'm starting to notice right now is we did have the drop. We had the dip. It was a very small dip, but a profitable dip of the sort. Being able to short this crypto on DueDEX is one of the great things to have in your arsenal. So definitely make sure to add or sign up for DueDEX down below. There's a link in the description to this website where you guys can have the opportunity to short crypto. And they also, I believe, are offering a sign up bonus of, I believe, up to $70. So definitely check that out. I did link all the information over there. But you can see that we did have this dip. We had the correction to the downside, and now we, instead of bottoming, or instead of falling all the way back down to support, which we had figured would be somewhere around the $54,000 to $5,000 area of support, we actually climbed back down, hit the previous support right here at 5,800, and immediately corrected back up. This is great. Usually when we see movements like this, we tend to break the mouth of the triangle. So I'll just draw that out here for reference really quickly. Let me find where it is. So here's the price range. It would be more so something like this, about a 52% drop. And we would open this up to here, anticipating the drop all the way back down conservatively to the $5,000 area. We didn't actually do that. We actually had an immediate bear trap, and we started to head back up higher. Obviously, we're in definitely a pickle right now because we are testing extreme resistance on the high-low middle moving average. But if things hold up and we can stay obviously afloat above $6,000 and even break above this high-low middle moving average, we will most definitely be reattacking the $6,700 resistance. And with luck breaking through that, we should be able to head up much, much, much higher. Obviously, if we check out the daily, you can see exactly what's going on right now. This is a clear sign of some sort of bear trap that has formed, and usually after breaking out of this, we're going to start to head even higher up, and we're probably going to start a new uptrend, which could lead us all the way up to the $8,000 resistance, and that is great news, at least to my ears. Now, to jump into some other cryptocurrencies for a brief analysis, let's look at XRP right here. You can see XRP I am extremely fond of right now. We discussed this in yesterday's video that XRP was setting new higher lows, and that is a great thing. We used to be setting lower lows, and unfortunately that kind of was giving off a signal that the bears were winning, but eventually we hit a bottom, we hit a support, and then we started to consolidate back up. So you can clearly see the three higher lows being reset here and being retested as we start to head up even higher. So this is great news, guys. Not only that, but we had this uptrend here and we were able to swing back above there. Now we're going to start to use this as a support as well as the high-low middle moving average. So for those of you interested in, getting involved with XRP or want to know the trades, obviously my specific trades are they're on Patreon, but for those of you interested in investing in XRP, things look very, very, very good, or they're starting to look very, very, very good as we switch from this more bearish signal to pretty much confirm a more bullish, optimistic look as we start to approach the 20-cent resistance, which is most likely going to happen very, very, very soon. Now, to move on to the other cryptocurrencies before we wrap up today's video, I want to look at Litecoin, and then we'll wrap up things with Ethereum. You can see Litecoin is definitely having some interesting plays right now. So there's a clear double bottom that formed. You can see this very, very, very obviously. 1, 2 bottoms. Double bottom as clear as day. This, again, with the bear trap that we had, does signal, at least to me, a more bullish pattern is starting to form. If things do continue like this, we should be able to indefinitely break above this channel that we have here in between the $39 and $41 resistances. Obviously, the high-low middle moving average is intertwined with that, but these are a lot of resistances. And if we can stabilize, like it looks like we're doing, and break bullish above this area right here, we should see a lot more volume being injected into here, and we should be able to shoot up to some very profitable areas. You can see with this drawn out here, obviously we took a little bit of a stumble a couple months ago, but with this being so undervalued, there's a very good chance we could shoot up all the way here, retesting the $50 resistances within honestly a blink of an eye before you guys know it. So there's huge things happening right now. Obviously, we do want to make sure that we called this correctly, and I do believe, I'm fairly certain with the fact that this was a bear trap, and now we're going to start to swing to the upside. Obviously, this double bottom here is a clear signal that we could be heading up even higher to the future, and I do believe that's what's actually going to play out and happen. So to wrap up today's video, I want to focus on Ethereum. This is one of the coins that is giving me some sort of interesting vibes. In reference to that, a lot of the other cryptocurrencies have broken above what appears to be their resistances here. But with Ethereum, it looks like it is fairly slagging behind. And what I mean by that is you can see there was a resistance that we had on here. And yes, we did retest this 3 days ago or 4 days ago. But the problem is we broke bearish from here. We hit our support down at 124 and we've consolidated out since then. Now to just, extend things outwards a little bit more, you can see what it is that I'm referring to. Obviously, we're intertwined within our bottom support and top resistance here, which is interesting, but it looks like we're about to retest, or we are currently retesting this downtrend. Like I said, there's a lot of things happening on the 4-hour charts for all these cryptocurrencies. Not only are there the downtrend here, we have the sideways resistance and the high-low middle moving average. Now, obviously, on a 4-hour, things are a little bit weaker and easier to break, but if we are able to break through this median right here and we get above $150 at any point, it is going to be an extreme switch to a long position, because I'm fairly certain that after breaking through 150, we should be able to rally up all the way closer to 180 or 177, all the way up to maybe even $190 on Ethereum. There's some great news, but you can clearly see what it is that I'm referring to. We have the clear downtrend right here. We're using this to scale lower as a support. Eventually we broke bearish and we're starting to use this as a resistance, but if at any point bottoming out, as we clearly did, setting these higher lows, if we can break above here, which looks certain to me, if these higher lows continue to happen, the next one should set us above the 137 resistance, and then we should be able to rally up, clearly up to the $190 support and resistance levels. So huge things to come, guys. Huge shout out to everybody who is supporting me on Patreon. We're on our way to 70 patrons right there. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.